Welcome to Space Mysteries, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. International aviation is in turmoil, facing one of its most significant challenges in decades. The world's airports are bustling, but beneath the surface, uncertainty is growing. Airlines, manufacturers, and governments are all on edge as a major crisis brews that could reshape the entire industry. At the center of this storm is Ryanair, Europe's largest low-cost carrier, which is now threatening to walk away from a massive $30 billion deal with Boeing. This isn't just any contract, it's a cornerstone agreement that has long tied Ryanair's future to the American aerospace giant. In a dramatic twist, Ryanair is openly considering a partnership with China's state-backed aircraft manufacturer, Comac, and its new C919 jet. This move signals a potential shift in global aviation alliances, as Ryanair explores alternatives that could disrupt the established order. Former President Donald Trump, never one to shy away from controversy, has responded with characteristic fury. Staying true to his America First stance, Trump has condemned Ryanair's possible pivot as a direct betrayal of American workers and industry. He warns that such a move would hand a dangerous advantage to China, boosting a key rival at a time when global competition is fiercer than ever. The implications for American jobs and technological leadership are profound. Boeing, a pillar of the U.S. economy and a symbol of American innovation, now faces not just a financial setback, but a potential crisis of confidence. The loss of Ryanair's business could ripple through its supply chain, affecting thousands of workers and suppliers. For Ryanair, led by outspoken CEO Michael O'Leary, the decision is about more than just price. It's about reliability, future growth, and the ability to compete in a rapidly changing market. If Ryanair defects, the balance of power in global aviation could shift dramatically. A major Western airline switching to a Chinese supplier would be unprecedented. It could shatter the long-standing Boeing-Airbus duopoly, opening the door for new players and altering the competitive landscape for years to come. This isn't just a contract dispute or a business negotiation gone sour, it's a high-stakes battle involving legal wrangling, intense negotiations, and strategic calculations that reach far beyond the boardroom. At its core, this crisis is a collision of economic pressure, escalating trade tensions, and global strategic maneuvering. The outcome could redefine the relationship between the world's two largest economies. The loss of Ryanair's order would be a massive hit for Boeing, threatening its market share and reputation at a critical moment. The company's future, and that of its workers, hangs in the balance. But perhaps even more damaging is the precedent this could set. If Ryanair can walk away, other airlines might follow, triggering a domino effect that could reshape the entire industry. The aviation landscape is entering a new, uncertain era, where old alliances are questioned and new partnerships are forged. The future of air travel is suddenly up for grabs. Business leaders, politicians, and industry insiders are watching every development closely, aware that the decisions made now will have far-reaching consequences. The choices made in the coming weeks and months could reshape not only the way we fly, but also the balance of economic power across the globe for generations to come. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. Ryanair's CEO, Michael O'Leary, is known for his relentless cost-cutting and willingness to break convention. His interest in the Chinese C919 isn't about politics, it's about getting the best deal. By openly considering Comac, O'Leary pressures Boeing and Airbus to offer better terms. The C919's growing credibility in China gives Ryanair's threat real weight. O'Leary's strategy is classic Ryanair: disrupt, negotiate hard, and keep costs low. If Comac delivers on price and reliability, Ryanair could be first in line. This move is a calculated gamble, one that could secure cheaper planes or backfire if the C919 falls short. Either way, O'Leary has put the industry on notice. The message: no supplier can take Ryanair's business for granted. The Comac C919 is China's bold attempt to break into the global aerospace market, directly challenging the Boeing 737 MAX and Airbus A320neo. Its familiar design makes it easy for airlines to adopt, but its real weapon is price. Comac is willing to undercut Western rivals to win orders. For airlines like Ryanair, even a modest discount means billions saved. China is also building a support ecosystem, maintenance, training, and more, to make switching easier. State backing gives Comac an edge private companies can't match. The C919 still relies on Western technology, especially for engines, creating vulnerabilities. But its mix of modern design, aggressive pricing, and government support makes it the most credible threat to the Boeing-Airbus duopoly in decades. The biggest obstacle for Comac is European certification. Without ESA approval, the C919 can't fly Ryanair passengers. ESA's process is rigorous, examining every detail of design and safety. For Comac, meeting these standards is a monumental, years-long challenge. O'Leary knows this. Without certification, talk of a deal is just leverage. Reports suggest Ryanair and Comac haven't held serious talks in years. The threat of buying Chinese planes is more negotiation tactic than imminent reality. If Comac cracks ESA, it's a game changer. Until then, its reach is limited. The path to Europe is long, and the outcome remains uncertain. Ryanair's massive $30 billion order for 330 Boeing 737 MAX jets is now hanging in the balance, as the threat of new U.S. tariffs looms large over the deal. This order, one of the largest in commercial aviation history, was expected to secure Ryanair's growth for years and provide a major boost to Boeing's recovery after recent setbacks. But now the entire agreement is at risk, with both sides facing mounting uncertainty. If tariffs drive up the price of each jet, Ryanair has made it clear they're prepared to walk away from the deal entirely, escalating the situation from frustrating delivery delays to the possibility of outright cancellation. This would be a major blow, not just to Boeing, but to the broader aviation industry. Ryanair CEO Michael O'Leary's public warning is a strategic move, putting intense pressure on both Boeing and U.S. policymakers to find a solution. His statements have drawn global attention, highlighting the high stakes involved. Aircraft purchase contracts rarely shield buyers from sudden government-imposed tariffs, leaving airlines exposed to unexpected costs, and creating a climate of costly uncertainty for everyone involved. Ryanair insists it won't absorb any extra costs from tariffs, forcing Boeing to either negotiate a new deal or risk losing one of its biggest customers. The pressure is on for Boeing to find a creative solution, or face the consequences. This standoff exposes just how vulnerable the entire aerospace industry is to political decisions and international trade disputes. Even a single disagreement can send shockwaves through the global supply chain. Thousands of jobs, from factory workers to airport staff, could be affected by a single trade dispute, threatening economic stability across continents and industries. Now, the fate of Ryanair's record-breaking order depends on high-stakes business negotiations and the unpredictable winds of global politics. Every move is being watched by industry insiders and governments alike. With billions of dollars and the future of two industry giants on the line, the outcome of this standoff could reshape the aviation landscape for years to come. The Ryanair-Boeing standoff reveals the fragility of the global aircraft market, long dominated by just two players. With Airbus backlogged for years, Ryanair's options are limited, even if it wanted to switch. This lack of alternatives gives Boeing leverage but also breeds tension. Airlines use public threats to gain leverage, while manufacturers know airlines need new planes to stay competitive. The potential entry of Comac could finally break this deadlock. If Comac overcomes certification hurdles, airlines gain real bargaining power. Ryanair's standoff is a glimpse of a more competitive, less predictable future. The duopoly's grip is loosening and the market is on the verge of change. Comac's rise is a state-backed push to end Western dominance in aviation. For decades, the skies have been ruled by just two giants, Boeing and Airbus, whose aircraft have become the backbone of global travel. But now, China's government is investing billions to change that narrative, determined to create a homegrown competitor that can stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. The C919 is the first real challenge to the Boeing-Airbus duopoly in half a century. This narrow-body jet, designed to compete directly with the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, represents years of research, engineering, and ambition. Its successful launch signals not just a new aircraft, but a new era in commercial aviation, one where the balance of power could shift dramatically. If Comac succeeds, it will shift industrial power from west to east and force down aircraft prices. Increased competition could break the pricing power of established players, making planes more affordable for airlines worldwide. This shift would also mean more jobs and technological development in China, further accelerating its rise as a global industrial powerhouse. Airlines would benefit from lower costs, potentially passing savings to travelers. With more choices in the market, airlines could negotiate better deals, leading to cheaper tickets and improved services for passengers. The ripple effects could make air travel more accessible to millions, changing the way people connect across continents. But global success requires more than a good plane. Comac must build a worldwide support network, a task that took decades for its rivals. Maintenance, spare parts, and technical support must be available in every corner of the globe. Without this infrastructure, even the best aircraft can struggle to win over international airlines. Aerospace is strategic, tied to national security and technological leadership. Mastering commercial aviation means mastering advanced materials, electronics, and manufacturing, skills that spill over into defense and other high-tech industries. For China, success in aerospace is about more than business. It's about securing a place at the forefront of global innovation. A strong Chinese aerospace sector would boost China's global influence and reduce reliance on Western tech. It would allow China to set its own standards, control its own supply chains, and project power through both commerce and technology. This independence is a key goal for Chinese policymakers. That's why the US and Europe are watching closely. The rise of Comac is not just a business story, it's a geopolitical one, with the potential to reshape alliances and rivalries in the decades ahead. The battle for the skies is about far more than airplanes, it's about the future of global power. As Comac takes flight, the world is witnessing the dawn of a new era, where the outcome will influence economies, politics, and the very way we travel for generations to come. For travelers, a more competitive aircraft market could mean lower fares and more choices. Cheaper planes let airlines cut costs and expand routes, especially for budget carriers. New players like Comac could spark a wave of low-cost airlines and new destinations, but safety and reliability will be under scrutiny. Airlines must prove new models are as safe as established ones. Any incident could damage trust in Comac and its customers. The familiar world of Boeing and Airbus may soon include a new name at airports worldwide. This shift brings both opportunity and uncertainty for passengers. Air travel is on the brink of a major transformation. The Ryanair-Boeing Comac standoff is a defining moment for the global economy. Ryanair's willingness to look east signals that the old rules are changing. For the US, losing a $30 billion order to a Chinese rival is a direct threat to industrial leadership. The crisis highlights the risks of protectionist policies and the fragility of global supply chains. Comac's aggressive pricing and state support give it a real shot at breaking the duopoly. If it succeeds, the aviation landscape and global power balance will be redrawn. The decisions made now will shape air travel and economic power for decades. The era of predictable aviation is over. A new, uncertain chapter has begun.